Time now for our rants and raves. And Dan, I'm going to start right there with you.
I have a rant for CNN, which earlier this week brought Jeffrey Toobin back as their legal analyst. Toobin, as you may remember, was suspended from CNN 7 months ago and fired from The New Yorker after he was caught pleasuring himself during a Zoom meeting with his colleagues at The New Yorker. Now, this is kind of a tough call. I mean, Toobin's good at what he does, and I believe in redemption, but it seems like he was hardly gone. He wasn't even gone a year, and he's being given his very prestigious post back to him again instead of having to perhaps work in a lower level position and regain the trust of his viewers.
I'm just curious if anybody.
It's a very awkward call.
I'm just curious if anybody on the panel disagrees. I know I feel very conflicted about this because I too believe in second chances. Does anybody think it was the right move? Anybody?
No, and let me just say why. The day that the black man does the same thing or a woman, come talk to me.
Yeah,
and I think Jeffrey Toobin is fantastic in terms of his talent, but come on.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
or any lower level employee would not have been reinstated.
Yeah. That is correct.
Okay. All right, Susie, you're up.
Well, I have an unusual rave. I do a lot of rants on this show, so I thought I would do a good one. There was this Blockbuster report in ProPublica. This was just a fantastic piece of reporting. They got the tax records of some of the world's biggest billionaires, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett. And what they showed is what we've suspected for a long time, but now we know for sure, which is that these guys pay no federal income tax and that is just egregious. So this was just like a white whale in terms of reporters trying to get this information. It's just really impressive that they got it and the way they presented it. It was a great story. But I'm going to take this time also to do one other little rave, which is just before we came on the air, the Pulitzer Prizes were announced a few hours ago, and Darnella Frazier, who is the 17-year-old who shot the video of George Floyd, got a special citation, a special award from the Pulitzer Committee, and I just thought that was great. And kudos to them for recognizing that a lot of the great reporting that happened this year just wouldn't have happened without her.
That was a classy way to do it, give her a special citation. Yeah. All right. Callie.
I'm raving the Google News initiative, which has allowed people to come up with some interesting ways of looking at how to fill in the gaps where journalism is needed. And they awarded a group called OK Player. And OK Player started something called the Byline Project, which allows local and newsrooms and places where they don't have access to some of the marginalized voices that would add context to their reporting to be access their reporting, their bylines. And it's you can do reporter tip, but you can also, they get some other kinds of support. So it's just a way to expand their own coverage, and it's open source tool.
How do they fund it?
Like I said, you can tip the reporters. Remember ProPublica did that, and also they have some other, foundational funding, but also, but it's the tip thing that's really interesting, and that allows them to see also, that they're supporting.
All right,
very good.
It's good. Right. John.
Well, the biggest local political news story of the year is the Boston mayoral race, and there's a lot of excellent reporting out there. Soraya Wintersmith and Adam Riley and the gang at GBH Radio are doing great stuff. I like to think we at Channel 4 are offering useful coverage. But to really take the pulse of what's going on with this race, you've got to read the coverage by your neighborhood outlets within the city. And I have a rave for two of them that are really killing it lately. First of all, the Bay State Banner, editor Yawu Miller is turning out every week nuanced reporting and analysis of where the candidates stand on key issues. And if you're not reading both the nuts and bolts coverage and publisher Bill Forey's insightful commentary in the Dorchester Reporter, you're not getting the big picture. Plus, the Reporter just rehired the great Gin Dumcius, who wrote the must-read book on the 2013 mayoral race, making their coverage all the more indispensable. Support your neighborhood newspaper.
Agree.
Please.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I have a rave tonight also, and that is for Byron Barnett from Channel 7, WHGH, after he's been on the air for 44 years broadcasting, 38 years of those at WHJ Channel 7. I actually remember when they hired him. It was 1983. I believe it was the same year that my daughter was born. And he's been there ever since. If you run into him on the street, if you bump into it at a news conference, everybody has such high regard for him, from politicians to police to colleagues like you and me, John, and everybody. He's just adored on the street, and just a very classy, first-rate newsman. And congratulations to him after 38 years here in Boston.